Hey guys, what up? Total Control 871, and welcome back to Camp Evergreen. We're getting our first look at our Dyna 23,800 BTU kerosene heater in full operation. She turned out pretty good. I'll admit, I myself also had worries about the ceiling. You know, we've got the room dividers, as well as the ceiling. You know, when I hold my hand about this high, it definitely gets way too hot, you know. But as I, come up, feeling, it's actually kind of cool. Not cool, but it is by no means nowhere near a temperature where it would catch flame. So we definitely have enough room clearance. And of course, that's going to depend on, not going super hoarder. You can't go super hoarder with the tent. And I was considering putting in a queen size bed. Don't ask how I was going to do it. But that plan's been aborted. I think we're going to go with our military cot. I think that'll fit very well with the scheme here. Our military cot. I mean, it's really looking good in here. It's looking good. It's feeling good. We've got our windows completely open. We have, the doors, doors if you want to call it that, open, and that's going to be the next phase, test phase. I need to close this stuff, and I want to feel, I want to feel everything, and monitor that very, very closely to see exactly what kind of temperature accumulates inside the tent. The wick is down to its proper setting. You want your flame about a 1/2 inch above the burner. I read my instructions. I wasn't aware you had to do wick maintenance. Getting the tar and carbon off and stuff like that. It says every week. I'll do it every month, maybe. As I read the safety precautions for this kerosene heater, I just kept saying over and over, wow, Daddy never did that. Because he heated that duplex I showed you guys in Detroit, Michigan. We all had our own kerosene heater. It wasn't a 23,000. It was one of those little, it reflects the heat, like a television looking kerosene heater. And yeah, that is the way he kept that home heated. We're talking about years, like 15 years of my sister breathing kerosene fumes, because that was the way the house was heated. And we're talking about Detroit, Michigan. The winters are very long and very brutal, and yeah, so there was a lot of kerosene burned, and it came from a pump from a gas station. It was put into steel drums that my sister and I would carry, and God only knows. So obviously, it probably it's the winter cough. It's not the heater. What do you call it? So it probably wasn't the purest of fuel. That's where I was going. I almost lost my thought. Let me see. Is this wait a minute. There we go. Guys can see me a wee bit better now. Yeah. So and I wonder, the multi years of my sister breathing those fumes in, did that lead to her mental deterioration? She suffered tremendously with migraine headaches. Tremendously. So bad that she would keep them to herself. She would not want our father to know about them. You know, if I would, look at her and see that she was in pain, I'd be like, "Is your head hurting?" And she'd be like, because she didn't want Daddy to hear me saying that. It would upset him greatly. So she hid her medical condition. Because God only knows for what reasons. Um, all right, let's drop her, let's button her up and see how things go temperature-wise. Temperature's rising. While we're waiting to test the heater, I wanted to talk about something. We're looking at the Black Riders new parking spot. Looks good. Looks damn good. I'm going to have to make some sort of a makeshift chalk. A chalk is what, like what the wheels fit into on your bus rack. That slot that the wheels go into for you non-cycling people. That's called a chalk. And I'm going to have to build one for myself, or some sort of method of propping up the Black Rider by its frame. I'm almost certain that the Black Rider resting on its crank like that throughout the summer is what caused the bottom bracket to deteriorate like that. And I mean, it got real bad. So, yeah, we're going to have to, let's see here. I mean, it's bad. Matter of fact, I don't even know if I want to mess with it. Yeah. Let's check our temperature. 44 degrees. And of course, that's right next to a wide open window. Almost 45. Let's check our ceiling. Slightly warm, and that's all. Yeah, matter of fact, that actually feels a little cool. But one of the things, yeah, this actually does feel slightly cool to the touch. And that's exactly what I want to hear. Slightly cool to the touch. And what I am hearing and seeing outside of me window, snowpack on top of the tent. It's melting. You guys see me? Yeah, there you go. Snowpack on top of the tent. It is starting to melt. That saves me a huge chore of having to get a telescopic broom of doing that to keep weight, to keep stress off the frame of the tent. That's important. You want the thing to last for as long as it possibly can. It is just a camping tent. Coleman, they make it very clear that their tents are not meant to be lived in. All tents basically say that. So I understand that this domicile, it wasn't constructed, it wasn't crafted with the exclusive purpose of round the clock dwelling. I understand that, but it's what it's what I could afford. When I purchased it originally myself. And again, another huge shout out to Mark Horvath at Invisible People, who funded him and his supporters crowdfunded this tent, and it was of immense help. It just goes to show you that, the homeless community, the way we look out for each other. Like I say, the homeless community here around me, I'll stick a buck or two in their pocket when I have it to spare. I try my best not to be only a taker, but also a giver. One of the things that I did a couple of weeks ago was, take a homeless buddy with me to the diner. Treated ourselves to, a quasi home cooked meal, if you want to call it that. That is that is a huge treat. Um, Home cooked meals are hard to come by. I know, and I do thank a lot of the people who organize food drives, clothing drives. That truly is wonderful, because believe me, the box from the pantry has indeed come along at the right moment to save the day. I've definitely been there before, and but it's definitely a difference when you sit down and you break bread with the person that you're helping, um, and talking. Uh, the homeless suffer a lot from loneliness. Um, don't turn to me for cliche homeless. I get lonely. I get lonely. I'm not saying that I'm above that. I get lonely, but we're going to talk more about my psychology. Like I said, there's been a huge, huge development in my family personal life, and I'll talk about that maybe the next episode. Anyway, so yes, we have our our doors closed up, buttoned up, you know, and all of this feels good. It doesn't feel hot or anything, and of course down here feels cool, and up here it just feels normal, you know. So yeah, man, Dyna Glow. That's what I'm talking about. The Black Rider. And that's with pretty much almost all of our windows, closed up. All the windows in the back are closed, so it's only this cross ventilation here that that's going right now. Let's check our temperature. 47. Yeah, it's probably going to get up to something like, 50 something by the time it stops climbing. Up here still feels good, you know. Everything feels good. So nothing's on the verge of combusting. that's the only thing that I was concerned about, making sure that everything, you know, and because it's so much more warmer up here, I am going to figure out a way of putting some kind of netting up along here. Definitely the instructions tell you do not put anything, I'll probably put like I'm going to put a Dutch oven on top of this thing, and I'm going to see if I can bake with it. And oh man, I would love some of those Pillsbury biscuits, or croissant rolls, or cinnamon rolls. Oh my god, my big fat ass doesn't need it, but I'm gonna try. Yeah, so can't wait. Everything's looking good, Safety. I'll keep the fire extinguisher next to me, probably maybe in the middle here, between the bedroom and the porch. It's kind of weird. It's like only a tent would have a bedroom and a porch, a porch to your bedroom, you know. So yeah, as soon as I sit down, I feel immediately the cool air, and it feels good. And let's see, let's take a peeky poo inside. Auto ignition, extremely easy. It lit up in about maybe 2 seconds. It's been burning for maybe 45 minutes. 45 minutes. And so far so good. Before I close out, uh, let's just see how things begin to feel when I close one of our windows. You know, because these windows, they don't zipper shut at the top up here, so it's not like it's ever, you know, airtight or anything. Although to be honest, I doubt a zipper is airtight. So, you know, with that, you know, you got your, you know. So let's just see. Cut the light back on. Let's just see how that works. All right, check back in a minute. Would you like to ride in my beautiful balloon? Would you like to ride in my beautiful, beautiful balloon? Get it? It looks like a hot air balloon engine, and it's like underneath stuff that I assume hot air balloons are made of. Alright, so it's been going about a good hour now, and I would estimate that up high it's about 85, maybe 90 degrees. It is plenty warm. Nothing is really cool to the touch, although it isn't hot either. It's just ever so slightly warm. You know, ever so slightly warm. And yeah, there's absolutely nothing that is hot or dangerous. And that's what I'm really looking for. It is about 34 degrees outside. And again, this is right next to a window. While we're talking, when I came in after we had a good rain about, I want to say a week ago. When I had this tent the first time, couldn't help but notice that it strangely leaked. Look at that. The water's been slowly evaporating. It was just a small puddle of water. For the life of me, I could not tell where it came from. This was dry, you know. I felt the seams, and I paid very special attention to the seams when I was siliconing it. However, this, our little warning doodad, it was wringing wet. It's completely dry now, but which would seem to indicate the way it kind of like sticks out there, that the leak may have dripped from somewhere around here. You never really know. But other than that, so it would seem like a design thing that this tent, the same tent, would leak in the same spot. It seems like it's a stitching issue. They cut the quality, man. What can I tell you? That Ozark Trail, man, that thing held. As a matter of fact, to be fair though, toward the end, I either I was half and half lazy and half wanted to see how the rainfly had retained its waterproof abilities toward the end of the summer. It was like in August, September. I did this. I did not put the rain tarp over the tent, and there was only a little tiny little drip in one spot, and I'm almost certain that that happened from little birds like sparrows landing on top of the tent when the rain tarp isn't up, and their little talons, little pinhole pricks. I think that's what happened to it. But once again, our Coleman leaked in the exact same spot, right out of the box. Down below here, it feels very cool. Very cool. I would estimate that when I get my cot, I'm going to get that Field and Stream. The Field and Stream is going to have me right up here to where, right here at our midsection, and we can see, because that's where the Garmin is. The Garmin temperature reading. I'm almost certain that this Garmin is going to even out at about 60 degrees. I would say, right here next to our window at mid-level, it's going to be about 60 degrees, I'll say. And yes, I will say, kind of like in final assessment, this kerosene heater was indeed a little bit of overkill. The small, television, that's what I call it. This small, that has the round back that radiates the heat out, that probably would have sufficed. Although, I don't know, maybe I could have used the Dutch oven on it, but that one really seems to, radiate the heat in only one direction. This will fill the entire tent with heat. So I don't know, maybe it is the right one. There is practically no smell whatsoever. However, I am using that expensive ass K1, a little fuel additive. It doesn't take much either. It's like a half ounce per 2 gallons. How about that? And as you can see, trust me, I've stripped. This is my the Aerotech fleece. It's like fleece flocking, windproof. I'm quite warm. I'm very much indeed about to bring this window down to get a cross ventilation. But before I do that, I want to see just how warm it gets in here with only one window open. I might even close that window and just briefly, just to see what the temperature conditions get like. Briefly though, because I can almost tell you that this is a daytime running heater only. It would be an egregious waste of fuel to burn this with my sleeping bag. My sleeping bag, when it's 18 degrees outside, when I've been inside of it for about a half hour, it's already up to 50 degrees, like our Garmin, That sleeping bag is awesome. It's a canvas shell. It's very heavy. I was talking to my homeless buddy. It was interesting the way, even though he has different equipment, we were saying the same thing basically, that when we go to roll over in our beds, it's like doing a bench press, because his covers are so heavy and my is so heavy. It's like doing a bench press to turn over at night. It's plenty warm. It's like I'll peel back the bag just enough, and it's like my nose will be out there. It's like a chimney. It's like you can literally see the hot air just coming out. It's like a little chimney from my sleeping bag. It's plenty warm. So yeah, it feels very good at this level. Very good. Like I said, that Garmin's probably going to level out at 60, maybe even 65. And This is something that I would burn during the daytime only. And, if I didn't want to go into our stores to keep warm during the day, so it would be a question of, because it's an 8 hour, excuse me, it's an 8 hour tank on full. I got the damn light on there. It's an 8 hour tank. And it would, but I don't think I would keep this thing running for 8 hours. So, what can I say? We'll see how the money plays out. I really won't know until we try. The cost of being inside of a cafe versus the cost of burning my heater inside of my tent. We'll see. And I'm gonna tell you right now, sometimes it's just fucking good to have the peace and quiet, man. When you're not around people, the fucking constant PA music, especially it's fucking Christmas, man. The same fucking Christmas carols over and over and over again. God damn. So yeah, it just feels good to relax in my own tent, in my my own domicile, it really does feel good, to just especially at night. Can you imagine staring into the fire? In me bothy. It gets me Irish. Me Irish ancestry is stoked up, I tell ya. Yeah, man, in my bothy. I can't wait to get my military cot, my Field and Stream cot back there. We're going to have storage underneath it. We're going to have some cinder bricking to raise it up even higher. And yeah, it's like this is something I definitely probably burn to, cut my light on. There. I would burn that to, heat the tent up at night, when our temperatures are dipped down into the low. And get into my sleeping bag. Winter cough. It's not the heater at all. As a matter of fact, I was wondering if the heater kind of, I don't know, is it helping? Because it's dry. It's very dry in here. Very dry in here. I'll look into putting a pot of water on top of the heater. But yeah, I'll definitely have the old chapstick. Although I use it anyway in the winter. Chapstick medicated. Awesome product. Love it. So, we'll look into that. I could tell you right now, even though it's 34 degrees outside, I could strip fucking naked right now. That's just how warm it is. I could strip fucking naked and be in this bitch, alright? Because it's, let's check our Garmin one last time. Yeah. See, this thing is gonna, round out at like, 60, 65 degrees. Top here again. Yeah. Alright guys, we're hitting 30 minutes and that's it. So there we have it. Dyna Glow. 23,800 BTUs. BTU. British Thermal Units. Alright guys, that's it. Stay warm this winter. Stay safe. There's more to come. There's a lot to update you on. And look forward to seeing you guys in the next episode. Total Control 871.